Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling tune-up Tuesday. So how was your day? I don't know about you, but mine was one of those days where plans just went poof, but it was still a productive day. So haven't gone as they should, and that's okay. You just roll with the waves, yet I still had a very productive day. So, Chin Up Tuesday, this morning we talked about different ways to keep in contact with your clients, turn your clients into raving fans, making sure that you're taking care of them, because the more you take care of your clients, the more referrals they're going to bring you, and how inexpensive it can be to actually market to them in a very impactful way. So if you want more information about that, send me a private message, or you can click on the link that will be in the description later on. I forgot to put it in there when I was typing this up. Like I said, one of those days that go poof. I did get to have an interview done today along with some amazing friends of mine. We were talking about the event coming up on the 16th and 17th of January, where my friend Casey is doing his Networking Riches class workshop for 2 days, all online. It is so if you want a complimentary ticket, I'm going to put the link into the description. So just click on that link in the description, Have to Network, and that will take you to the page where you get to register for a complimentary ticket and get to come and join the fun over the 2 days. It is going to be phenomenal. So we've got to talk about that event today on an interview, hence the made-up look here. It's the only thing that went according to plan today. Everything else was up in the air and not working, and I was just sort of like with it. But I had not an epiphany. What was it? I think it was just a thought that popped into my head, and it was one of those ones that when that idea pops into your head, it will not let go, and it bugs that until you do something about it. So it was sort of like, and I was sort of like, I have stuff to do for clients. I've got to get it done, because I'm on my schedule. It's in my schedule to get it done today. But this one thought was not going to let go. And I was like, but this one thought could be the key to unlock a puzzle in one of the trees that I have been working on. So it was like, and even writing it down would not help. It was like pushing and pushing and pushing me. You know those thoughts that you have where it completely takes over everything you're thinking. You can't link two words together. You can't link a sentence together. Words are coming out incorrectly because the brain is so focused on this one thing. It's like, damn it. And so I went in, I started doing the research on this thought that came into me, and it led me to almost to the solution to unlock everything. And it gave me some different areas to go off and explore that could all come back. So it gave me different paths to go that all hopefully lead back to the same solution. So now that I have got that out of my system, it's been good. Zeffy put me in the doghouse last night and finally came around to coming up and getting pets and hugs and scratches and treats from me at some point today. I got put in the doghouse because when we came in from the dog park yesterday, she was all dirty and dusty from rough and tumbling with Nellie, and Nellie is half golden retriever and half labradoodle. Beautiful coloring, cream coloring with a beige stripe along the back, which reminds me very much, and bigger than Zeffy. But her colouring reminds me of my grandpup Mojo, who is a cockapoo and is the white with the beige across the back too. So very similar markings in that. Come here, you want to come up and say hi? Or are you just going to stand there and whine through the whole thing like you have been doing all day? I've been getting lecture after lecture after lecture today. We even went outside with her little puzzle board and set that up for her so she could play with that. We did some training. She did awesome with her training today. So we got to do the training outside. There were distractions out there. And for the most part, she did pretty good with the distractions. Even though next door there was a camper there and there was a dog on a long lead outside, was looking under the camper at Zeffy and barking. And so Zeffy did pretty good on ignoring that dog and concentrating on her training. So she did pretty well today for her training session. We're trying to do regular trainings with her on a daily basis instead of 3 or 4 times a week. So trying to get that in there. But you can tell when she's done, because when she's done, she's just sort of like, I'm not going to pay any attention, and she just flops down, and that's it. She's done. And even it doesn't matter how many treats you have in your hand. And when she flops down, she's done. So like, I'm done. Don't want to do it anymore. Now she's trying to knock herself out with her soft toy. There's no squeakers left in it. There's no stuffing in it. It's just the outer case, and she's got it in her mouth, and she's shaking her head side to side and whacking herself on the head with it. It's just one of those days. So tomorrow we will be back on task, on plan. Now she wants to play. Seriously? I wish I could lift the laptop down here so you could see what she... No, that is not a chew toy. Yes. So she put me in the doghouse because she did not like getting wiped down with the doggy wipes yesterday to remove all the dust and dirt off her and get her feet cleaned. This is what's left of Ruby Rabbit. Yes, I know. But she had it by the ears and was flipping it around, so it was whacking her on the head. And there's no stuffing left in Ruby Rabbit. Ruby Rabbit used to have 2 squeaky balls and squeakers in each paws. Now she has no squeakers, no stuffing, and Zeffy loves it. She just whacks it around and uses it for a throw toy. Go figure. But yeah, so today was one of those plans go poof type of days, and they happen. You can have your day planned out and nothing goes according to plan. You have a schedule set up and your schedule gets thrown out of whack because of this one idea that pops into your head, and your brain will not let it go. It won't let it go to the subconscious and process. It's almost like it's come from the subconscious to the conscious part of the brain to say, I got it figured out. Let's go do this. And you're like, no, I have work to do. No, let's go do this. I'm like, no, I have work to do. And I was actually working on a client's project at the time. And it got to the point where I was sort of like, okay, you got 5 minutes. And then I went on my lunch break and I thought, okay, I'm going to do some of this. No, I had a break. That's right. I had a break. I thought, okay, it's time for a break anyway. Got up, refilled my water bottle, played with Steffi for a little bit, and she'd let me. Sat back down. I thought, okay, on our break, we're going to go check out this idea. And of course, and then the brain was like, yay, let's go. So we got in there, we got started, and that was it. Poof, the day was gone. So, oh my gosh, I can write this down. And so I'm writing down all these notes and everything as we're going. And my brain's keep going. I'm like, no, I have to get, and I'm like talking to myself, no, I have to get back to working on this project. And the brain's like, no, you have to keep going. So I'm having this internal dialogue going in my head, and I'm just sort of like, just like, and so we got to the lunch break. I actually started reading, I read some more of Tom Sawyer. I think I'm up to chapter 3 or 4. Got past the thing about him and the whitewashing of the fence. That was so funny. But there was a couple of really good quotes. There was a couple of really good things that I highlighted in the book as I was reading it, that a couple of really good points that Mark Twain wrote about in the book. And I'm just going to see if I can quickly find them. Little mischievous little guy. Yeah. So he's done all the whitewashing. He's got the fence. It's got 3 coats of whitewash on it, where he's got other people to pay him for the privilege of painting a fence. And here it said, Tom said to himself, he said, he discovered a great law of human action without knowing it, namely that in order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make that thing difficult to attain. And then it later said, work consists of whatever a body is obliged to do, and that play consists of whatever a body is not obliged to do. So work consists of whatever a body is obliged to do, and the play consists of whatever the body is not obliged to do. And I thought that was that was really cool. But I like the fact that he made these boys covet the fact that they wanted to paint the fence, all because he made it a difficult thing for them to attain. So he put it out of their reach. Like, he talked about how great it was and how privileged he was to be painting this fence, and how his aunt only wanted him to paint it because he would paint it correctly and all this. And the more out of reach he made it for people, the more the boys were willing to give him for the privilege of painting the fence. And I thought that was such a cool I thought that was so cool. I was like, oh my gosh, that was awesome about how he did that. And so, there were lessons in there that you can take from that. When you're doing marketing, how can you make something that people want to have because you've taken some simple thing and you've put it just out of their reach, and they will do just about anything to get it. And I thought, wow, there's such a powerful lesson in that. So you never know what you're going to read, where you're going to read it, or anything like that. Um, so yeah, today was a poof day. Just went, and but at the same time, I got to learn a lot of stuff as well, and got to uncover some portions that will help with mysteries that are going on within trees, and I actually working on a person's tree. I came across the ethnicity of a person, like it had broken down what their ethnicity, kind of like what you would get on the DNA reports. But it had this is where their ancestry comes from, and I'm like, well, it's exactly the same as mine: English, Cornish, Scottish, and Irish. Although I do have a little bit of Scandinavian in there now. But my ancestry is basically that I've traced so far is from England, Cornwall, Scotland, and Ireland. And this person also has that same ethnicity in their background. I'm like, huh, I wonder. And, the brain just goes off into these little I wonder things. And so I've written that down for a thing to go and research. And I might do some of that. No, I've got to get off the computer tonight. It might give my eyes a rest from the computer, give the brain a rest. But I've got that down to follow up with at a later date to see, we have, yes, it's common for people to have those four things, but you never know. So we'll go research this person's ethnicity and see if it leads back to the same. Well, I already know he's got that they've got Cornish, Scottish, English, and Irish in there, same as me. I don't know what their proportions are and compared to mine. And this is a historical figure from the past, and so I was just like, it might be interesting just to go have a look and see, just to do like a cursory glance over everything to see what comes up. You never know. You never know. So I'm kind of interested now to go pursue that. But I have it on another list to do on another day, and maybe during a lunch break or something like that, or a day when I don't have a lot of stuff going on. I'll break it out and go in and do a little cursory glance here, a little cursory glance there, and see where it leads. You never know. But this is one thing I love about genealogy. You come across these facts about things, and they may line up with something that's in your tree or something that's in a tree that you're researching. It's like I was looking up about a particular bourbon the other day, and I came across a name for the person who was involved with this bourbon. What are you doing? And that name came up, and I was like, hang on, I've researched somebody by that name recently. So I went back into all the tree, and I knew it was a client's one that I had recently done. So I went back into a couple of my clients' trees to search that last name, found where it was, and went, uh-huh. Now, is there a connection? Let's do a quick cursory glance and have a look. Haven't found a connection, already passed the birth date of the person who is part of that family tree I've been researching. There may or may not be a connection, who knows? But just a quick cursory glance, and no connection that stands out. And the other part is that they were also in completely different parts of the US at the time as well. So is there a connection there? Maybe if you did a deep dive, but on first cursory glance, nope. But it'll be really cool because then I can go back to that person and say, hey, you know how you're a distant cousin to this person here? Well, they married this person who happens to be a distant cousin to this person over here, who was very big in the bourbon making distillery era. So it would be a distant cousin through marriage to the family, not a distant cousin through blood. It would be a distant cousin through marriage. So if it did pan out, but quick cursory glance, completely different areas of the US. But actually, when you think about where the states are, not really that far apart. Yeah, so not really that far apart when I think about it, because I just suddenly realized where the states were in alignment with each other. So maybe there is a connection there, but it will be some distant connection. Um, hmm. Okay, I've now got something to go research. I'm going to add that to my list to go check on, because now I suddenly realize where the two states are in relation to each other. It just increased the chance that there could be a more of a probability than there was with the cursory glance. So you never know where things are going to come up for you to go research. But and that's all part of what I love about genealogy is you never know what's going to come up. You never know about the stories that are going to come up. And some stories, when you're reading them, you're sort of like, yeah, that never happened. And then it's sort of like, well, Mark Twain always said, um, oh, I just had that quote up today too. What did I do with it? I just had it. I had it up on the screen. Where did I put it? It's something about how truth is always stranger than fiction, and fiction has to make sense. Something about that. What was that thing about truth? What was it? Let's have a quick look and see if I can quickly find it for you. Oh, it's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. So, and when you're in the world of genealogy and you're coming across all these different stories of things that happen in families that are told through journal entries, they are told, stories that are passed down through generations, they're told through newspaper articles, however the story is told and recorded, when you look at it, you're sort of like, okay, did that really happen? But the evidence is right there in front of you that it did happen. You go back to that quote um, by Mark Twain that said, "It's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense." And then you think about, you can never write a movie based on this full story because nobody would believe it because it would just be too out there for them to believe. Yet it's something that actually happened. So that kind of makes me think of all those movies that are based on true stories. That if you go and look up the actual story and read the actual story, if you go to somebody's biography and read the actual story of their train of events as they happened and things like that, you're sitting there saying, "Yep, no way, no way," and yet um, we know that it's true because yet when they make the movie is somehow more believable than what the person actually wrote in like their autobiography. So it's kind of interesting how we see things, how we perceive things. So, but anyway, that's it for me. I've rabbled on long enough. I've got a puppy who would love to go for a walk. She's gone quiet now. But anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. But enjoy the rest of your Tune Up Tuesday. Tomorrow is Winning Wednesday, where we get to celebrate the wins that have taken place over the last 7 days. So have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for Winning Wednesday. Hei konara.